M0FXB, welcome to my channel. So this is an Anytone 878 Mark II. This one is the green button, so it has these APRS receive and messaging. So this is the radio, and all of the Anytone, whether it's 868, 878 or this model, this is the radio I get the most messages about, because they'll buy it, and then they'll turn it on and they've got all this information on the screen, and they literally, and I was the same when I first got it, literally haven't got a clue how to use it. And they see all this text and they think, we think, we'll select that, turn the volume up, and then we're going to hear something. Well, I'll tell you now, you're definitely not going to hear anything, and I'm going to explain to you why. Number one, you need to be in range of every single thing that's on here. So let's just go down through. I'm going to explain to you what you're seeing. So what you're seeing here is on the A band, you're seeing pre-installed repeat, let's call it repeaters, simplex, whether it's FM analog or DMR, and you're seeing it. So I am now on the A band. You've got A band here. See, that's the top band. If I push P2, on most they call it code plugs. Most of these radios that have what they call a code plug or a pre-programmed software, because you program this radio using a computer. You can program it off the fly, and there's videos showing you that, but generally you use a computer. So if you get it from Moonraker, Martin Lynch, someone like that, they're going to give you, it's going to be installed with a code plug. So when you see this P2 button, when you go A and B, look, A band, B band, A band, B band. So we're at the top highlighted. We're on the A band. When we turn the knob, the top knob here, we're turning through channels that have been programmed into the radio, and each channel can be different. It could be DMR talk group, which they tend to cluster together, or it could be an analog normal FM repeater, just like with a shift, just like for example, my GB3WR is 145600 with a shift and a tone. You can have that as well. So what they do, they created zones to group them together. So if we go through now, we're looking at the different channels that are in this zone, but just on the A band. Forget the B band. So we're just on the A band. If we go up or down, we are changing to a different zone or a different group of channels. So for example, this one says GB3FI. So this group is called analog repeaters. See it in the red writing there. Analog repeaters. Okay, so when we tune through, we are looking at those analog repeaters. So let's say if I key up to say GB3WR, which is actually in range, I might reach it. We'll go TX. No, it didn't repeat. And sometimes if it's a digital channel, you'll actually get a message back saying that it's failed. So let's go through and see if I can find one that I know I can get. Let's try GB7FI. That's a digital one. No message back from them. ZB is normally quite strong to me. But I am trying to reach that repeater from the radio in this room. And that it's not going to contact it just, it has got it there, look. It's not going to contact it just because it's got a snazzy screen and interesting text. So just remember that you have to be in range. If you're not in range, if you go to a digital repeater, let's go down to a different zone. Remember, different zone means different group. So let's go down to, here's one here, Southwest. Now it says analog, we want DMR. Southwest DMR. So these are all DMR repeaters, yeah? You're not gonna reach it if you're not close to it. This is why in the end everyone buys a hotspot. This is a hotspot. This is what they call a jumbo hotspot. This is like having a repeater at home. Anyway, it's lighting up now, so we're getting some info. So if we go to that channel, which is talk group 921, and on the frequency that I've programmed into this radio to use this hotspot, we're going to hear something. So let's see if I can find. Most people have to add their hotspot frequency. Not all people have to add their hotspot frequency into their radio. So I'm going to find where I've added it. So Pi Star Talk Group 921. That could be the one. Let's key up on that and see if actually you might hear it. Yeah, when it goes green up here, when it lights up here, you're receiving something. But sometimes it's just people keying. There you are. It doesn't mean they're actually talking. So if I key up, let's try and get this so you can see both. Like so. It's going to show my call sign here. There's the IP address of my hotspot. So we're going to key. There, look, that says that it's small, but it actually says M0FXB talk group slot 2 TG91 AR. It's not so. The simple way to say it is that if you want to get loads of talk groups, DMR contacts, you shortcut by getting yourself a hotspot that links you to them all. Otherwise, you have to reach them. You have to physically reach them with your radio. So I think I've laboured that point. So let's just show you how to go. B band really is it's a replication of what you're getting on the A band. You can decide what you select. So we've gone to the B band by pushing the P2, and we can go through and select the channels on that zone. And if we go down or up, we've gone to another zone. We're turning through the channels. You see that? And if you look, the lower name is the name of the zone, what the group is called. And what have we got inside that group? Lots of analog repeaters. It says it here, analog repeaters. We turn through GB3FI, WR, you know, and so on. So you get the idea. Now let's have a look at some of these buttons, because even these buttons, some of these shortcut buttons are pre-programmed. Let's turn the volume down here. So if you just press this, you've got two buttons here, PTT and then programmable button 1 and 2. If we just press the bottom one, like so, there you are. That's taken us into VFO mode. It says VFO-B. If we're on the A band by going P2, look, VFO-A. So now it's like a normal radio, VFO-A, VFO-B, and you can go into the menu and decide whether if you want FM, DMR, and whatever you want it to be. If we push it again, we go into memory channels, okay, and go P2, B band, memory channels. Now, this one here, the P underneath the PTT, radio on, look, we've just turned on, it's been pre-programmed to turn on the, look, broadcast radio. So we can actually try and find, broadcast, radio 1, radio 2, all that kind of stuff. So we probably can type it in on the keyboard, as you can with DTMF. But let's go 101, see if we get some, we're going a bit fast here. But ham radio stuff is still coming through because I've got talk group 91 here. There we go. That's my broadcast. Right, finally. There you go. There you go. So push the number 2 button, because that's the number 2 button has been programmed in the software. If you push it, it will turn the radio on. But there's another thing. If you hold it for, you can program each button. If you hold it down, it will do a different function. So if I hold it down, like so, something different will happen. I'm not sure what that one's programmed to do. Let's try it. Nothing there. Not seeing anything obvious unless you are. But
Tuesday's a big deal and grab.
Let's try pushing the. Turn the radio off with that one. Let's try pushing the top button. I think we'll come away from the busy channel because that's stopping things from happening. If you receive stuff, normally you can't change things. So we're just gonna go A band and go up. I'm gonna move away from that busy channel. Now let's just push in that one there again. Nothing on that. Let's just push it. Radio on. We know that. Let's push the bottom one. Hold it. Look, Digimonitor single slot. That means it's going to let everything through. It's called promiscuous mode. It lets everything through on slot 1. If you hold it down, Digimonitor double slot. It's going to let everything in through on both slots on the channel that you're on. So if that's a hotspot on talk, if that's the frequency of your hotspot, it would let everything that come in on that. So let's just try this top button. Look, if you look here, it's changing the power. This is the green button on top. This has been pre-programmed in the code plug. Change the power. You've got a little antenna here to tell you if you've got a signal. That's coming from my hotspot. If I unplug the hotspot, it'll go dead. See that? It's gone dead. It's not going to receive nothing unless there's something nearby that is giving it a signal. I know it sounds a bit patronizing, but just trying to show you that when you get these radios, you can't just have a fancy program. You've got to have a hotspot or a repeater near you, or you're not going to be able to use it. Yeah, yes, it does do things like airband. The menu is amazing. Talk groups, text, it just goes on. Roaming, Bluetooth, GPS, Bluetooth there. Your GPS, when you've got a lock, this little emblem here at the top, this little one here, goes red when it's locked. Your battery life, the battery lasts forever on these. Very loud speaker. You can program it. Programming cable goes in here. PTT. Now you can program these manually. You can go menu and you can start to go to settings, then channel set, and you can start to. There's a whole videos out there how to program all of this manually, and they've designed it so that you can do that. And that's one of the big pluses on this radio. But that's a separate video. But what I'm saying to you is, if you've got this radio, and you've turned it on and you've gone, oh my god, I just literally don't know what I'm doing, hopefully this will just make you realize what other steps you need to do. It is a bit mind-boggling at first. You can just get a code plug, pre-installed, and then just try and change one channel to match with your Pi-Star hotspot. You can do that, yeah, but again, that is quite a big learning curve if you've never used one of these radios before, and it was for me. I'm no exception to this. The other way is when you're on a talk group, once you've learned what to do, let's just go on to a DMR one. You can hold down 0 and you can type in the talk group number. Let's say it's 91. You have to push hash. Oh, let's go back.
Traffic just got heavier than it was.
There you go. And then you can key, and then you can join that talk group. There's a learning curve to that. So I hope this gives you I hope this doesn't confuse you more than before, but it's the most common thing I get told. Menu, list, zones. So yeah, let me know if that's been any help to you. So 73